Okay, guys. So my friend said I should talk about the deplorable state that most of the games are on mobile devices are. Like, just in theory, some of them have ideas that could be worked out. He showed a video of just one of those really crappy games that probably uses the same software 1,000 times, and he taught it's whatever this Run Forest Run game is. But there's some. I'm just gonna say most games run off the same basic software. You know, the where you mash the things like the little blocks and they break down kind of games. Those are get old. You got all those build your base kind of things like Clash of Clans. I've seen them, but they all take on their own role, their own story, and they all run off the same software. Like or Flappy Bird games. Now, in theory, some games really are an idea, right? You got some that are their own original ideas, and then they're just going to run off that because that's what their company's known for. So I'm not saying that's bad in itself, but when you get ones that are just like really just stealing the idea out of the other ones, they might take it's just a new twist to it. Now, I've noticed that some of the games though that are more like smaller topics, people they actually got ideas. Like let me try to find it. Here's one that I personally liked, but it was a long time ago. That's not it. That's not it. There's some kind of crap. There's some game about a Polish revolution that took place. It was a strategy game, but it was more like real time strategy. It was a pretty good idea, right? I'll try to find it one day, but let's just show you even the one companies that like have good ideas can really mess up. Let's just show you the European War 5, right? So you really personally saw how the other European war looked, how World Conqueror looks. Now I'm glad they did not do. Have you guys seen the new World Conqueror? Now I know one of you guys brought it up in the comment sections. Yeah, I'd seen it. So let's just look at this. How do you go from European War 4, right, to this? Just the graphics are a major downgrade. It really kills me. This terrible, horrible. It's just getting to me. And then you go to games, I don't know, but I'm glad to see the new World Conqueror 4 goes back to the old way that Easy Tech done their games, right? Where it was literally, as you could see, like European 4, and it's exactly the same as World Conqueror 3. More graphics, just more stuff in the game, right? Which is still exact same. It's literally, most of Easy Tech's games were literally just the same, just a more upgraded version of the last one. Or just like a different time zone or topic. So that was what I liked about that. But when you get games, like some of the games, they're pretty bad. But you do have some up-and-coming people that really did not they're not a company, right? They're only going to make one or two games, and they're kind of independent developers. I don't know, it gets pretty good. I can't really name them, but I know a few. I remember when some games started out pretty tiny, then they moved up, right? I don't know. You could go to just any games really. Try to get past the bullcrap, right? That's like more modern stuff, and just look through there. I'm sure you'll find some great game. Mostly it's on the ones where you build your own universe. I've seen games like that, which are in theory an old idea. But they still, since no one really does them and no big company really puts any money into it, you're going good. As long as you don't have to pay. And then you got games, right, that you have to pay to do anything. Like Clash of Clans, like the ones where I said where you build your base or whatever. You're literally paying to do that stuff. Now, you do know that European War 4, to a degree, is a bit like that. I'm not going to say that. But it's not, you can purchase stuff, but it doesn't change really your ability to play the game, which I especially like, right? Any game company that's going to make games is going to want some money, right? And they're just going to do that, so they're going to be like, download the game, oh, you need some help. Okay, but what I liked about European War 4, let's go here. I think I deleted it off this device, it doesn't really matter. But, you could just go into it, right? And normally, I mean, like, hold up. So if you'd seen the headquarters menu for the other one, you'd only have, like, this top row, right? You'd have the first 3 unlocked. The first, like, boxes for the generals. What you do is you could buy them. You could purchase generals. Now, normally it'd be the cheaper generals, and then you'd have the next ones you could do. Then you had the store, which you could buy stuff with the money you earned through the campaign, which was still not enough to buy some items, or you could just save up for a while and build, like, get the best troops in the exact game by, like, just playing conquest mode. Which I'm not saying that you had to do it. I'm just saying you got to be really good to do this, like, without actually buying anything or med kits or anything. You just got to be extremely well strategized. Right? You had the academy, which here was normally you didn't have to pay for anything. But if you do see these little medals up in the corner, what I just click on, I mean not the medals, but the little shields that were up in the corner, let me go back into it, you had to have them in order to get the better generals. But in order to get those, what you had to do was you had to complete campaign. You had to go complete an entire section, and the last, I don't know, like 2 or 3 had to be full gold stars, or at least I had to get all gold stars. And that's all you had to do in order to get the best generals. You might put some money in it, but it's not like it's going to really change the game that much. And, yeah, guys, so I'm just saying, they really need to start making new mobile games, but I feel like Easy Tech's the way to go for now if you like strategy games. I like how most of the games turn into one big thing, though they need to mix it up, like put some new ideas in there, new, I don't know, conflicts and stuff. Instead of doing futuristic wars, I mean, which is still good. I mean, I've seen some series that I'm not really into that Easy Tech does. Like, I'm still into the European War 4 World Conqueror series, right? They did that, but they had some other series, right, guys? And they were pretty good themselves. I mean, they're okay. But, like, when I say new ideas, I mean, like, what if you establish colonies in your Europe and you still do this with the European War, but what, like, Age of Imperialism, let's call it that. I mean, they could put more ideas into it, like new games and their own stuff, right? You could compete with Europe to establish colonies or whatever, or screw each other over, or even, like, have some diplomacy in there. But in general, games are just really terrible on the Play Store nowadays, guys. I'm out.